Bill worked in a pickle factory. He had been employed there for a number of years when he came home one day to confess to his wife that he had a tremendous urge to stick his penis into the pickle slicer. His wife suggested that he should see a therapist to talk about it, but Bill indicated that he'd be too embarrassed. He vowed to overcome the compulsion on his own. One day, a few weeks later, Bill came home absolutely ashen. His wife could see that at once that something was seriously wrong. "What's wrong, Bill?" she asked. Do you remember that I told you how I had this tremendous urge to put my into the pickle slicer?" "Oh, Bill, you didn't." "Yes, I did." "My God, Bill, what happened?" "I got fired." "No, Bill, I mean what happened with the pickle slicer?" "Oh, she got fired too," the man says. Old retirees were talking about naughty acts in a cafe. When they finished, the two retirees paid their bill and leave the cafe. A young man sitting next to them has overheard the conversation and smiles to himself, thinking it would be quite amusing to see two old retirees going at it. He gets up and follows them. Sure enough, he sees the two old retirees near the factory. The little old lady pulls off her panties and lifts up her dress. The old man pulls down his pants and grabs the lady's hips, and the little old lady then reaches for the fence. Well, what follows is 40 minutes of the most athletic the man has ever seen. The little old man is banging away at the little old woman at a pace that only can be described as phenomenal. Limbs are flying everywhere, the movement is a blur, and they do not stop for a single round. Finally, they collapse and don't move for an hour. The man is stunned. Never in his life has he ever seen anything that equates to this. Not in the movies. Not from his friends. Not from his own experiences. Reflecting on what he has just seen, he says to himself, "I have to know his secret. If only I could like that now, let alone in 50 years' time." The two old retirees have by this time recovered and dressed themselves. Gathering the courage, he approaches the older man. He says, "Sir, in all my life I have never seen anybody screw like that, particularly at your age. What's your secret? Could you like that 50 years ago?" The retiree replies, "Son, 50 years ago that fence wasn't electric." And staying at a nice London hotel, finds a card in the telephone box offering services. He calls the number and says, "I'd like some doggy style, some 69ing, some mild bondage. Is that okay?" "It all sounds very interesting, sir," the lady replies. "But you might like to dial 9 for an outside line first." Lady called her gynecologist and asked for an emergency appointment. The receptionist said to come right in. She rushed to the office and was ushered right into an examination room. The doctor came in and asked about her problem. She was very shy about her emergency problem and asked the gynecologist to please examine her vagina. So the doctor started to examine her. He stuck up his head after completing his examination. "I'm sorry, miss," he said, "but removing that vibrator is going to involve a very lengthy, delicate, and expensive surgical operation. I'm not sure I can afford it," sighed the young woman. "But while I'm here, could you just replace the batteries?" On their first night together, a newlywed couple gets ready for bed. The new bride comes out of the bathroom all showered and wearing a beautiful robe. The proud husband says, "My dear, we're married now. You can open your robe." The beautiful young woman opens her robe and he's astonished with her beauty. "Ooh, ah!" he exclaims. "Oh my goodness, you're so beautiful. Let me take a picture." Puzzled, she asks, "My picture? He answers, yes, my dear, so I can carry your beauty next to my heart forever. She smiles and he takes her picture, and then he heads into the bathroom to shower. He comes out wearing his robe, and the new wife asks, why are you wearing a robe? We're married now. The man opens his robe and she exclaims, oh, my, let me get a picture. He beams and asks, why? She answers, so I can get it enlarged. A man is sitting on a train across from a busty blonde wearing a tiny miniskirt. Despite his efforts, he's unable to stop staring at the top of her thighs. To his delight, he realizes she has no underwear. The blonde realizes he's staring and inquires, are you looking at my Yes, I'm sorry, replies the man and promises to avert his eyes. It's quite alright, replies the woman. It's very talented. Watch this. I'll make it blow a kiss to you. Sure enough, the cat blows him a kiss. The man, who is completely absorbed, inquires what else the Wonder Cat can do. I can also make it wink, says the woman. The man stares in amazement as the cat winks at him. Come and sit next to me, suggests the woman, patting the seat. As the man moves over, the woman asks, would you like to stick a couple of fingers in? Good God, says the man. Can it whistle too? The man walks into a pharmacy, buys a condom, then walks out of the store laughing hysterically. The pharmacist thinks this is weird, but there are no laws preventing weird people from buying condoms. Who knows? Maybe it's a good thing. The next day, the same man comes back to the store, purchases yet another condom, and once again, he leaves the store laughing wildly. This piques the interest of the pharmacist. What could be so funny after buying a condom anyway? So he tells his clerk, if that guy ever comes back, I want you to follow him to see where he goes. Sure enough, the next day the same man is back. He buys the thing and again starts cracking up with laughter, then leaves. The pharmacist tells his clerk to go follow the guy. About an hour later, the clerk comes back to the store. Did you follow him? Where did he go? Asks the pharmacist. The clerk replies, your house. Little Johnny woke up in the middle of the night and went to the bathroom. On the way back to bed, he passed his parents' room. When he looked in, he noticed the covers bouncing. He called to his dad. Hey dad, what are you doing? The dad answered, playing cards. Little Johnny asked, who's your partner? The dad answered, your mom. Little Johnny then passed by his older sister's room again. He noticed the covers bouncing. He called to his sister. Hey sis, what are you doing? The sister answered, playing cards. Little Johnny asked, who's your partner? She answered, my boyfriend. A little later, Dad got up and went to the bathroom. As he passed Little Johnny's room, he noticed the covers bouncing. He called to his son, what are you doing? Little Johnny answered, playing cards. Dad asked, really? Who's your partner? Little Johnny answered, you don't need a partner if you have a good hand.